All aboard a Philly trolley tour.
Welcome to the Roman Basilica of St. Peter and Paul. Chair of Justin Cardinal Regali, the Metropolitan Archbishop of the Church in Philadelphia. Here in 1846, the Irish, the Slavic, the German, they all came, the Italian, immigrants of Catholic tradition to the New World. And they laid in stone in columns, 25 tons each. They lifted their faith up into the ceiling to reach up to the heavens, to their Lord, to celebrate their faith tradition, the Catholic Church in Philadelphia. They sacrificed and gave to build the columns and lift the walls. The outside of the basilica is Roman Corinthian design and architecture. It parallels Penn's plan. It's a cross-pattern design. Here, John Notman made the outside in sandstone, where the little side chapels are along the great walls were intended giant stained glass windows. They did not put them in because in the 1840s there were know-nothings who did not like Catholics and Jews, and they feared. After many of the churches and synagogues were burned in the city, they feared that the windows would be destroyed. However, they stood outside and lifted up rocks as heavy as Molotov cocktail bottles, threw them into the air, and from the sidewalk angle onto the side, they realized no one could throw one as high as the ass of this great church. So they put the windows in the upper level, but none in the lower. They remain with the grooves outside to remind Catholics that the price of freedom and faith isn't free. Here, half-ton chandeliers bring light inside the church. The great dome and doors of the sanctuary were painted by Constantino Bermudi, the same artist who painted the dome of the U.S. Capitol. The interior of the basilica is designed by the famous 19th century master contemporary architect companion of Notman, Napoleon Lebrun, who also designed our Academy of Music that you saw. 80 feet lifts from the marble floor to the vaulted ceiling with 200 hand-carved gilded Florentine rosettes, representing the descendants of Abraham as numerous as the stars of the sky. For evangelists, cover in the great circles. Beneath the high altar is a marble mausoleum, and all but two of Philadelphia's bishops are buried, just like in Rome in the Vatican. When you exit the door and you look into the circle of the parkway, it is a likeness to the Piazza San Pietro in front of the Vatican in Europe. The 19th century, the 20th century planners of our boulevard, in likeness to the Champs-Élysées, the circle with the fountain, and the buildings with columns that surround it in the front are a likeness to the Vernili columns in the Vatican. Allons-y. This way. The Stations of the Cross.
Are you the group that's here for Mass?
No. Thank you.
Okay.
That will be the trolley works. This way, please.